Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to Hotsport. We are right back, 2 videos in 1 day for you, and we've got a special debut segment. So last week we debuted the tiers, and earlier today we did actually our second tiers video. But today we're going to do a new feature. Again, we're doing things that are different here in terms of Premier League coverage, that we were trying to just try different things. But before we get into any of that stuff, guys, for this segment, make sure you are hitting the like button. Make sure you are subscribing to Hotsport, guys. I mean, come on, you are going to be missing out on a bunch of amazing content if you don't hit that like button. It helps the algorithm anywhere. And by the way, just a bit of a blurt out, so try to help promote my other channel. We have started, me and my friend Cal, for a fellow Arsenal fan from the Football Terrace, we've started a new podcast that will be, basically an extension of this channel as well as his channel, which is, by the way, check him out at Cal Gunner. And we're going to have, every single week. Our first episode of that is already out, so go check it out. The podcast is called Fire Them Cannons. I alluded to it in my preview, my previous video, just in a joking way, but there is a new podcast called Fire Them Cannons, featuring me and Cal. It's going to be sure to be explosive, especially if you're a Gunners fan. Our first episode was fire. And of course, Abereche Eze joining Arsenal. That was the big news. But let's get into this juicy stuff. This first new segment, we call this one Under Pressure. Let's go. Well, so welcome to the Under Pressure segment, and this is the segment where we're going to talk about players players or coaches or clubs, whatever you want, that need to step up to the plate in match week 2. That following the previous match week, they are going to be under pressure. Now, this is not necessarily a grilling or a cooking. This is not the intention of this segment. The intention of this segment is motivation. This is motivation to help try to push, some specific, as we said, players, coaches, clubs, to try to get them to respond, to see what they're coming out of them, because at the moment it is time for them to answer the bell. And as you can see in the headline of this video, the first person we're going to mention, we're going to mention right up, and that is VIKTOR GYÖKERES, Arsenal's striker, right? 97 goals in 101 appearances for Sporting Lisbon so far. It is look, Arsenal struggled to get him involved in the game against Manchester United in the first game, let's be honest. And he has come under a string of criticism now, I believe unfairly, by the media. The talk always is about Kai Havertz, and Kai Havertz, maybe he might come in because it might be something that Arteta's more comfortable doing. But at the end of the day, guys, first of all, Kai Havertz is going to be injured, so now the pressure is going to be on GYÖKERES to just kind of to hold the fort and play the striker's minutes, as many as possible. His minutes are going to go up now, so now it's no kind of safety net anymore for VIKTOR GYÖKERES. He's going to have to bang, and look, they're playing against Leeds this week, and I said on the terrace in my response to the end of the Manchester United game that I didn't really mind the offensive output against Man United. That wasn't the focus of the matchup. It was about going away from home, being solid, being not being beaten. Man United were going to be pumped for that game. They were going to come out all guns blazing, and that's exactly what happened. And the Arsenal defensively, I thought, were excellent. They played the defensive angles very well, making very, very difficult for Man United to get any real clear-cut chances, and David Raya made a few saves in that game. But the criticism, despite that, came out for Arsenal's attack and for VIKTOR GYÖKERES, who made way after about 60 minutes in this game. He clearly had a bit of a welcome to the Premier League sort of day at Arsenal. And look, Arsenal brought it in. He's supposed to be the savior for Arsenal. Been crying out for a striker for a long time. He knows he's near the pressure cooker. And playing for Arsenal, it comes with a lot of pressure, especially when there's so much expectation and the rest of the league is looking at. And they're going to look to answer him as much as they possibly can. But Victor, I believe in you, my man. Go out there on Saturday against Leeds, score your first Premier League goal for the Arsenal, and give us one of these. That's all we asked for. So, Viktor Gyökeres is under pressure, but I expect him to deliver this weekend. The next person under pressure is Manchester United boss Ruben Amorim. Now we stick to that Arsenal-Manchester United matchup. And yeah, look, I thought that he had Man United coming out looking much improved at the end of the day. They couldn't finish in front of goal. As I said, I thought it was come down to a lot about big Arsenal performance. But I think Man United's fans were encouraged a lot by that performance against Arsenal, despite the defeat. I think they had their heads held high, but there's no escaping this weekend. They have to play Fulham, and Fulham is not Arsenal. Fulham is a team that I have, if you look at my tiers earlier, in the second bottom tier in the Premier League. And I expect Man United to come out now with Mbeumo and Cunha and do the business. Amorim now has had an entire summer. I get he's finished 15th, made the Europa League final last season, but now he's got it all together. There's no excuses. They've got some good transfers coming in. Their business might not be done either, but despite that, Man United need to start performing and winning games, because it's been a very, very long time since Man United have put a string together, a winning run really in the Premier League. And it's up to Amorim now, because I gotta tell you, that fan base up in Manchester does not have any patience. Let's be honest, that is so true. And I think it's ridiculous that already Amorim's name has been talked about as a potential, Amorim out, or I don't like this manager, blah, blah, blah. I think Amorim's a very good manager. He came into a tough situation, a club disjointed, players who necessarily weren't committed to the cause, and he's had to just sort of weather the storm, put things together, came in mid-season. I mean, he was actually managing Viktor Gyökeres 14 for the first, a couple months of the season last year. And then, he had to take the opportunity to get his dream job at Manchester United. But now he's time to deliver on that, Ruben. And this week against Fulham, let's kind of see what your team is good about. Let's start seeing Man United playing that Ruben Amorim style of football that was so successful in Portugal. Let's see, but the pressure is on Ruben. Let's be honest. It is, without a shadow of a doubt, the pressure is on him. And let's see now. Now it's time for them to deliver, because if they don't deliver the points against Fulham, then that negativity is going to start to come rear ugly head again for Man United, and they want to get that positive energy. And this is kind of the crossroads in the season. I mean, up this early on in the season, I know, because you have that early season anticipation. They brought in Mbeumo, they brought in Cunha. I expect maybe him to start Benjamin Šeško this time against Fulham. So let us see. But Ruben Amorim is under pressure. And finally, to just conclude this video, it's not a long video that we have today. The third one is a team. It's Chelsea Football Club. Chelsea is under pressure. And look, they had a lot of expectation. Their fans going on the whole season about how they are world champions. And they did not play like world champions when they played against Crystal Palace. I thought they were lucky to even get out of that game with a draw. I mean, Eberechieze had the most beautiful free kick that he put into the top corner. And, some sort of foul on Gahey, old school, really weird explanation. By the way, they actually tell them to you on the mics nowadays, which I think is really a cool feature this season. But at the end of the day, Chelsea didn't look like the world champions. They, especially at home at Stamford Bridge. Now they're going to have a chance. They have West Ham tomorrow morning. This is why I had to squeeze this video in this late at night for my time. Yeah, Chelsea. Let's see what you got, man. You looked great in the preseason. You looked great beating PSG in the final of the Club World Cup. But you know what? End of the day, you gotta shut fans like me up who just don't really respect that Club World Cup thing. The Conference League, and your fans are bragging about some trophies or whatever. Like the trophy's not even in Chelsea's. Like they have Chelsea have a replica. The actual trophy is in the Oval Office with Donald Trump. Like they beat Palmeiras and they beat Botafogo, or I'm not exactly sure exactly. I'm like the Brazilian sides they beat, and Benfica, I'm pretty sure. Like that was their road to getting to PSG. Like world champions. How could you be world champions when the best teams in the world were not all competing in the competition? Let's be clear. You guys were the third tier of European things, and at the moment, there's a lot of questions on your Premier League performances. You guys started off last season very, very well. You guys faded away, and lots of hype. But spend a lot of money, by the way. That still might not be done. Xavi Simons still might be on his way. And yeah, I think it's time to put up or shut up now for Chelsea. Look, West Ham got absolutely battered last weekend against Sunderland. Chelsea have to do the same to West Ham now. Like, honestly, because if all of a sudden they can't get 3 points out of West Ham, and I understand the rivalry, but I think this should be a banker for Chelsea, and the pressure is on for Chelsea Football Club. So, guys, let me know what you think. Who else, by the way, do you think is under pressure? Maybe somebody I didn't miss out on this video who you think is under pressure this weekend. Again, I got Viktor GYÖKERES, I got Ruben Amorim, and I got Chelsea. That's who I have under pressure going into this weekend. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We're going to have another video, a new segment tomorrow as well after the Chelsea game, but it's going to involve the rest of the weekend afterwards. So we've really kicked this content into full swing. So I'm so excited. And by the way, watch out for my appearances on the Football Terrace. I hope to be up to 3 match reaction shows this weekend. Definitely Arsenal against Leeds, that is for sure. But yeah, guys, we're everywhere. We're on the terrace. We're have our own podcast. We're out here on Hotsport. And by the way, football season is coming up, and we will be on Jacob. So your boy is everywhere right now, okay? But make sure you are just, have that notification bell turned on when we go live, when we make videos. I'm liking making these live videos, even if they're quick. It just involves a quick upload, and it's all fun. So, yeah. So, again, leave it in the comment section. Do you agree with me that these are under pressure? Do you have another suggestion about who would be under pressure? I'd love to hear everything. I would read every single comment. Again, I want to be more interactive with you guys this season. Hopefully, as the comments and the channel grows, and hopefully so much more to come this season. But anyway, until next time, Anton is out. See you later.